because they know of the wicked crimes and they know of the war crimes that this place is guilty of. So it says, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. Because whatever you glory in, like I said, it's a lot of skeletons in your closet, and they're coming out. And you're being exposed. So everything you wish you can uphold and present yourself as proud as being a so-called American or a so-called white person, by looking at your forefathers and ancestors, and you'll see that they either stole, raped, robbed, or murdered, and that their whole image is a facade. Let your foreskin be uncovered. You are naked. You are exposed. It says, the cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So what else are you going to come up with the glory in? Who can you go to in history to really try to uphold and present as an idol for yourself? You don't have it. Like there was this one Edomite teacher who the other interviewer asked her, she said, so why do you think color matters or whatever? She said, oh, color means everything. If you take away the fact that being so-called white makes them special, what do they have? And that's a very true statement. What do they have? That's why these Edomites are so hesitant to make movies about so-called black Jesus, so-called black angels and stuff like that, because they say, well, look, if you take that from us, we ain't got nothing else. They do it collectively. They're mental fugitives. They truly want something to look up to, but everybody they look up to of their ancestors, they're all a bunch of damn devils. So they fabricate and they steal other people's heritage because they wish they could have it. They envy us and our heritage. We are a great people just by spirit. A lot of our greatest inventors never intended on being the greatest inventor. They just had the spirit in it, and it just came out. Esau envy it, steal the idea, take the credit for it, pay them off, and you'll never hear from the true inventors, but they'll take the credit for it. That's how the devil works. So you can't even look at your presidents, man. All your presidents are guilty of can be indicted for doing some major crimes and have a lot of bloodshed, man, and causing chaos around the world. This is Nahum chapter 3. Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The bloody city is America, Babylon the Great. It's filled with the blood, sweat, and tears of the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. An innumerable amount of Israelites slain by the hands of the oppressor out of hate and envy and covetousness. And who was it? You guessed it, Esau, the so-called white man. Woe to the bloody city. It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departs not. The noise of a whip, the noise of the rattling of the wheels, and of prancing horses, and of the jumping chariots. Yes, if you look at the history of America, you're going to see the noise of a whip, the noise of rattling wheels and prancing horses and jumping chariots as they pursued and chased down our people, as they pursued and chased down the so-called Native American Indians and Seminary Indians out of their land. This is the history of this place, bloodshed. It says, the horse lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain. That goes into their weaponry. We can still talk about Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Their little nuclear creations, and what was it all about? They use it to destroy. It says, there is a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon the corpses. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. If you was to read this verse to anybody and say, so if what country does this remind you of? A multitude of slain, a great number of carcasses, no end to their corpses. America's gonna come straight to their mind. It says, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts. I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show thy naked nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And this is what's happening right here. Like I said, the title of this video, the crimes of the U.S. president, and they're all guilty, even going to George Bush's, and how each president went after another walked in the same footsteps as the one before and aided and deceived the entire world for political gain, or to cause war, or to incite war in these other countries and blame them, while at the same time stealing their resources while presenting themselves as the hero. They cause the problem just so that they can so-called fix it. Just like, what was it? I believe it was called Al-Qaeda or something. Like he mentioned at the beginning, outwardly they were against the whole Indonesia war, but secretly they were funding it. They were giving them weapons to fund it. Just like now, you got all those riots and how convenient there's a bunch of bricks right there. Those are psyops. It's controlled opposition. You understand? On one side, you got the president saying, "Oh, I'm against the riots. You know, it shouldn't be fighting or whatever." But behind closed doors, they're making sure that windows get breaking. They're making sure that business get damaged. They're making sure that the bricks are there so that people can use it. They got undercover cops going around breaking glass during these peaceful protests. It's what you call controlled opposition. This is how the devil operates. Everybody's hip to how this man operates, man. Nothing's genuine in this country. This is all just to push an agenda, to justify martial law. That's all it is. Isaiah 33. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. And I'm telling you, you Edomites in America, the time is going to come, according to the prophecy, that all the times that you dealt treacherously with all these other nations, all of them, you broke treaties, you lied on the treaty, you killed the second in command here, you caused war here, you oppressing Cuba here, you oppressing Venezuela here, oppressing China here, Iran here, pushing bullying Russia here, other small countries. It's going to be a point in time where you're going to seek some type of slack. You're going to have the white flag risen up, and all these other nations are going to bone rush you at the same time. Because I can say, "Oh, wait a minute, now you want to talk." We already tried talking. And it got to the point now that most countries, they're not down with talking. No more talking. So it's going to be a point in time where you are going to lose the advantage. And you are going to be the ones to want to plead and beg for negotiations. But those other countries, the same way you jacked them up, they're going to do the same thing to you. They're going to return that favor. So what do you have to glory in, man? You Edomites have absolutely nothing to glory in but a fake history. His story. You fabricated that history and you stole ours, man. And I love it how you guys uphold your little presidents and all these people on the pedestal when deep down they was a bunch of devils, man. All you gotta do is do some research to see what type of man that person was. Thou art filled for shame, for glory. Right? So sit in the dust. So with that, I hope it was edifying, and I say shalom.